It's no surprise that everyone knows that the progression update has been cancelled for a great deal of time, but they don't realize how necessarily long it has actually been. It has been 4 years since they first announced the progression update, along with the building update. And why has it not been released? Well, in today's video, I hope to explain how and when it may possibly come out. Anyway, let's get right into the video, and if you enjoy the video or find it useful in some way, consider subscribing and leaving a like to help the channel out. Anyway, let's get right into the video. The story of the progression update starts on April 28, 2020, so over 4 years ago, which just started as a simple building update, turned into 2 different updates which are planned for later this year, 2025, which we can't really trust that reliably. As we most likely all know, COVID-19 was very prominent in 2019 going into 2020 and a little bit of 2021. So, in this time, Tyridge and his crew, they were working very hard to get updates out. That's why we saw a lot of improvements during this time because everyone was at home. But going into 2021, things were starting to change and go back to normal, meaning that the developers were not always at home and they had real jobs. Most of them are just coworkers, you have to remember that. So with this sudden change, updates became very less frequent, and we didn't see very much besides event updates, and occasionally a few different updates. But overall, this year was honestly really beneficial to the Wild West. The events that they did add with Christmas and Halloween were both incredible, and by far the best ones they ever added to the game. So that honestly makes up for the issues that they had this year with poor updates, and their schedule was pretty cruddy, but this year was the home to something even greater. 2021 was whenever the Wild West released the auction update. An update that would change the game for good at first, but looking back at it in 2025 was actually a pretty big negative to the game, which I'll explain in a bit. Besides that, this was a pretty good year, and if they kept this up, I mean, things were going to be good. But the thing is,
they didn't.
Week after week, 2022 passed by extremely quickly, leaving us at the Halloween update of that year. And you guessed it, it's basically an exact repeat of what happened last year. Great, wonderful. I mean, at least we got an update. That's pretty great. We're gonna see later that is not gonna be consistent. Oh yeah, did I forget they added the worst auction weapon in all of history besides the Guy-Caught rifle, the Axe-A-Gun. One shot? Oh, and it takes 7 seconds to reload. Thanks, 2022. Well, what do you know? It's 2023, and we're starting out with a banger. Well, that is, 2 months in February, but whatever. We're starting out with the treasure hunting update. So this update was infamously terrible and added barely any content to the game. I mean, it was good. I mean, I'm glad they classify it as like a mini update, but come on, give us a real update, goddamn. It's also honestly just a disgrace to mention that the faction update came out. I'm gonna guess that maybe 99% of the people don't even know what that is, because who the frick would know what it is? It doesn't even, it barely adds any content to the game. I'd rather just not even have that update and have the progression come out sooner, because that update was pathetic. What even was that? Jeez, well, we finally made it to Halloween this year, and oh, it's a wonderful update. Just kidding. It's literally just it's a trashy version of the update last year, so it's like they took that update and removed all the fun in it, and then just made it low quality. Not to say it's a bad update, but it's really, really not up to the par of the recent updates that had been for Halloween, not even Christmas. And yeah, I mean, I don't even need to talk about this one. So moving on to the Christmas update that happened. Oh, guess what? They do basically nothing except add AI snowmen, and they're impossible to kill, and they're the most annoying things they've ever added to the game. And then they add a gun that you can get by killing those snowmen. All works together wonderfully. What a clown show 2024 is. We start off the year with no update. Nothing. It's a spook attack. It's like a jump scare. We don't even get anything. So we're jumping right to the Halloween event, which if you're wondering, it's the exact same. No different than the last update. Christmas update, the exact same. Nothing changed. And that's the end of the year. We're hoping for the progression update, but to be honest, I think it's probably 1 in 50% chance. I mean, 1 to 50% chance that it comes. Keep telling yourself that. Have a wonderful day.